Hello everybody, this is Skyflight44, aka Zect44, and today I'm going to continue playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. Now, I went through and I made some changes to our Toon deck. I mainly went about taking out the Toon Dark Magician Girl, mainly it wasn't really serving much of a purpose. I'd much rather have something like Toon Barrel Dragon. I did get that. I did manage to get that Red Eye or the Blackstone of Legend, which can get us into a Red Eyes Toon Dragon, but I'm not gonna go about throwing that in there just yet. I kind of want to get a little bit more because at this point in time, the Red Eyes or the Red Eyes Toon Dragon isn't necessarily necessary for this deck. I still can run it the way I have. It is at 43 cards, and that's because I don't really feel like taking a few of these cards out. We have added another Toon Briefcase. We have our Toon Table of Contents, and I've thrown in another Comic Hand in there. Outside of that, I think this is still going to work fairly well. If I wanted to take anything out, probably it would be possibly a Mimicat, or maybe a Toon Mermaid. Or actually, I really shouldn't say that. I'll just go straight out and just take out the Toon Alligators, to be honest. The Hyenas are there so I can go into the more powerful monsters. But I also added a Castel, the Skyblaster Musketeer, just because we can. It's the only, like, generic thing that we would want to go into. There are other things we can go into, like really one option, but Castel is the only one that actually does anything that I'm going to want to like go into the extra deck for, in which Castel can detach one material, target one face-up monster on the field, change it to face-down defense position, detach two materials, and then target one other face-up card in the field, shuffle it into the deck. That is the more useful option. This deck still needs a lot of work, but at the very least, it seems a little bit more consistent with the Toon Table of Contents in the deck. Outside of that, this deck is very incomplete. However, I did say that if I could make a shell of the deck, I would go about making a shell of the deck. And why is this deck not very good at the moment? Number one, I only have one Sanctum of Parshath, and I only have one Valhalla Hall of the Fallen. Which means, I'm not going to be able to get a lot of good stuff done. I do have 3 Hecatrice, which means I can get into Valhalla Hall of the Fallen at least a little bit more easily. The big thing being I have 3 Bountiful Artemis. This is how we go about resolving a counter trap. We draw a card. We have Freed the Brave Wanderer. This is specifically so we can go about banishing monsters. You can banish 2 light monsters from your graveyard to target one face-up monster in the field with higher attack than this face-up card. Destroy that target. This is mainly going to be useful so that we can go about using Lanyard, the Liberative, which I have 1. Each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, add 2 of your banished fairy monsters to your hand. If you manage to actually have this on the field, then you're definitely going to be able to get some good... you're going to be able to get some stuff back. And definitely, I should be having more Raigeki breaks now I think about it. More discard fodder, really. I also have Harvest Angel of Wisdom. 2 of these. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can target one counter trap in your graveyard, add it to your hand. This is very important for the deck. I only have 2 of these, I think. I don't think I have a third one of these. If I do, I'm probably a fool for not actually having a third in it. Mainly just because our counter trap lineup sucks. I only have 2 really good counter traps, and the rest of them are. I really only have 6 counter traps in the deck, which is the biggest problem. I'm gonna see. I looked at all the decks, like the deck recipes we have so far, and none of them are running Magic Jammer or 7 Tools to the Band. I was hoping if either of them would, then we could just go and play against them several times, and we would definitely have these to throw in here because I don't mind having these whatsoever. They do definitely work and do something. Again, Hecatrice gets us. We can discard for Valhalla, Hall of the Fallen. Minerva, Scholar of the Sky. I want more of these. Each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, this card gains 500 attack. And if it does, add 1 the Sanctuary in the Sky, or add. No, sorry. And the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field. Add 1 counter trap with a different name from your graveyard to your hand. Sorry, that kind of was a little bit too difficult for my brain to process. We have 2 Neo Parshath, the Sky Paladin. You can special summon this card by tributing 1 Air Knight Parshath. I don't have that in the deck. This card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. This card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, draw 1 card. While the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field and your life points are higher than your opponent's, this card gains attack and defense equal to the difference in life points. This is a very good effect. The big thing is we're going to be hard tribute summoning this monster. And that is mainly because we have Overwhelm in the deck. So Overwhelm, activate only when you control a face-up, level 7 or higher monster that was tribute summoned. Negate the activation of a trap card or affect monster's effect and destroy that card. We have 2 of these. This is 2 of the 6 counter traps we have in the deck. That is a terrible thing, to be honest. Very much a terrible thing. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be using these tribute monsters or I would be attempting to special summon these things, not just hard tributing them. But oh well. Power Angel Valkyrie. So if you negate the activation of a spell trap or monster effect, add 1 light fairy monster from your deck to your hand. That's cool. Sacred Air Air Knight Parshath. If you activate a counter trap, or if you negate the activation of a spell trap card or monster effect, except during the damage step, you can banish 2 other fairies from your hand, field, and or graveyard. Special summon this card from the graveyard. It was there when you activated, negated, or hand. This card attacks defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can add 1 Parshath card or 1 counter trap from your deck to hand. That is a very, very good effect. We need some way of getting into an actual counter trap. The thing is, I was debating on using Needlebug Nest, mainly to get Sacred Arc, Air Knight Parshath into the grave, and also to get counter traps into the grave, so we can go about using Harvest Angel of Wisdom to get them back, because we need some way of getting into them. But this deck can do some other stuff. It just this deck isn't very good right now. It needs a lot of work. Outside of that, we have Flash Knight, just because it's a 7 for Pendulum Scale, and Guiding Ariadne, which is a 3. So basically, everything but our tribute monsters can easily be special summoned to the field. And if we go about somehow getting a bunch of them into hand, then we can go about beating over our opponents. Because to be honest, a lot of these monsters do have a lot of attack points. I was initially trying to get see if I could use Nova Summoner. Nova Summoner did not really have too many options. Like the only really good one would have been like Lair the Liberator, and possibly some other things that I just didn't really feel like putting in my deck. I also was trying the agent, the Agent of Creation Venus. But that was putting in 4 spots, and I had to get into the Agent of Creation Venus in order to get that card. Otherwise, I'm running 3 shitty cards in my deck just to get into that one, and I just didn't really have many options for it. So, oh well. We're not running anything like that. Again, guiding Ariadne. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can reveal 3 counter traps from your deck. Your opponent chooses 1 for you to add to your hand, and you shuffle the rest back into your deck. That's lovely, but the big thing is in the pendulum scale, you do not pay life points to activate counter traps. You do not discard to activate counter traps. That's the big thing. 1 Forbidden Lance. Target one faceless monster in the field until the end of this turn. That target loses 800 attack, but is unaffected by spell traps. Mage Power. Just a lovely equip spell. Monster Reborn, Raigeki, 3 Fountain in the Skies. When a light monster is destroyed by battle and sent to your graveyard, you can remove that monster from play to gain life points equal to its attack. This is mainly just to keep us in the game. This is also so that we can go through and use Neo Parshath Sky Paladin's effect if the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field. And then again, since we can technically get it from Sacred Arch Midnight Parshath, we might have an option of getting Sanctum of Parshath. I really need to get more of these. And Valhalla, Hall of the Fallen. Once per turn, you can special summon 1 fairy monster from your hand. You must control no monsters to activate and to resolve this effect. Outside of that, I have Dust Tornadoes. Considering the fact that if I go through and use counter traps, I might be able to draw a card off of Bountiful Artemis. The fact that I can, if like Neo Parshath, the Sky Paladin, or Sacred Arch Air Knight Parshath can get me stuff, I can use Dust Tornado to target 1 spell trap my opponent controls, destroy that target. Then you can set 1 spell trap from your hand. The first effect is what you're usually using. You'd probably go about using something like Mystical Space Typhoon, maybe like Twin Twisters, something as a quick spell instead of something like Dust Tornado. But for a deck that can go about searching and adding traps to hand, Dust Tornado does have the benefit of allowing us to set that spell and trap from my hand, which means we can use it sooner, much sooner than we would be able to otherwise. So, Magic Jammer, discard 1 card, negate the activation of a spell and destroy it. Mirror Force, Overwhelm, I've already went about talking on that one. Raigeki Break, 7 Tools of the Bandit. So pay 1,000 life points, negate the activation of a trap card. And then Solemn Strike and Solemn Warning. Already went about saying those. Very good. Very good. Just expensive. Okay, so let's actually get into playing around. So I'm gonna go with the GX this time. The thing is, I need to get into counter traps. That is the big thing. I want good ones too, but I'll take anything at this point in time. So we can go through, do story deck for this one. This one shouldn't be very difficult. Trust me, our opponent is very likely to brick. And, well, if he can't use his cards in his hand, then he can't use his cards in his hand. The only problem is the fact that he does have a bunch of, like, I think it's either 17 or 1800 attack point monsters. But let's see what we can actually get. Well, obviously, Stratos. We can normal summon Stratos, getting ourselves a hero monster from our deck. And I'm probably gonna go with I'm probably gonna go with. I want to go with Elemental Hero Blade Edge. The thing is, Miracle Fusion is not necessarily amazing in this one specifically. I kind of want to go about dumping, like just using as many of these to get into a really good hero from our extra deck. If our opponent goes through and just like makes it so that we can't put anything into the graveyard because, you know, banishing and all, then that's probably not going to be all that very good for us. If we... Stratos is... Nothing that he can normal summon is going to be able to beat Stratos, so... Let's just go and have Elemental Hero Blade Edge. I'm also pretty sure if... This should be at Wild Edge is also in here, so if I get Polymerization, I can actually get these two going. Not to mention, I can also just Miracle Fusion these two if need be. So let's go into end phase. See what our opponent's gonna do. Ah. Okay. Let's go and start with Elemental Hero Wildheart. He's unaffected by traps, so at the very least, he will go into... outside of maybe Dimension Fissure, which I don't think this deck is playing. If Macro Cosmos is going, then Elemental Hero Wildheart is not going to go into the... won't be banished, he'll still go into the graveyard. And the fact that Miracle Fusion allows you to go through and fusion summon a monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your field or graveyard. And the problem is it's not from your hand, like Polymerization is. I'm gonna go through and use Elemental Hero Burstgenetrix. Next time we're gonna be going with the Elemental Hero Blade Edge. Either or, unless he's gonna go through and... Actually, he can't. He only has a light in the grave. He doesn't have the ability to use any of his spirits. Which a lot of those, not specifically spirit monsters. Okay, so... What? Light can attack? Well... Oh, no, fire can't attack. Well, that's not so bad. I'm just gonna go through and... I'm gonna go through and get rid of these two. Yeah, there's no real benefit for me at the moment in order to go through and fusion summon. Otherwise, I probably would have went and did that. Okay, so we got Spirit of Flames. That's the only thing useful out of this deck that we can get. And Rise the Sacred Beasts. Do I want to do that one? Sure. We'll go through this, and at that point we can probably deal with... maybe we can get another Solemn card. Outside of that, I really have no idea where we're going to be getting counter traps. And then we can try out a new Toon deck, and we can go about trying out that lovely fairy deck that sucks. But we don't know exactly how much it sucks so far. Let's go second. We get an extra card to fusion summon with, and he doesn't get as many cards that he can throw into the deck. Infinity Dark. Yeah, Gemini monster. So, if he gets to summon this again, when this card declares an attack, you can change the battle position of one of your face-up monster your opponent controls. That sounds lovely. Well, I don't really have many good things, so let's see if we can actually attack. We can. Oh, that's wonderful. Wasn't expecting that. Now, the big thing is he... Yeah... The three... I was waiting for that. The three different cards he has are the Sacred Beasts. One of them needs to tribute 3 monsters in order to be able to be used. I don't know if they have to be Fiend specifically. I think they have to be Fiend specific. There's also 3... one of them needs to tribute 3 face-up continuous spell cards, and the other one 3 face-up continuous trap cards. So as long as he doesn't have, too many of those, it's gonna be fine. Thing is, what can we do? We can Foolish Burial and send Elemental Hero Stratos to grave. Then we can technically Monster Reborn the Stratos. And from there, use its second ability to destroy back row. We can destroy Messenger of Peace. I'm gonna go about throwing Elemental Hero Clayman, though. Yes, that's what I was hoping for. The fact that he wasn't gonna pay for Messenger of Peace is wonderful. Okay, so I don't even know how to pronounce that. The Philosopher's Stone. If you have a Winged Kariba monster in your graveyard, pay half your life points, add 1 polymerization spell or fusion spell from your deck to hand. This card is in your graveyard. You can banish 3 copies of the Philosopher's Stone from your graveyard, then target 1 monster on the field. It gains attack equal to the attack of the monster on the field with the highest attack. Okay, that's cool. Now, let's go and use Elemental Hero Sparkman. Then we can go through and Monster Reborn Elemental Hero Stratos. And then we can destroy spell and traps in the field up to the number of hero monsters you control, except this card. Which means 2. What do we want to get rid of? That one's probably another trap monster. Yep, another Quantum Cat. Oh well. No. This is one of the reasons why I tried getting multiple monsters. I had to do that then, just because we had to, or else that thing was just gonna start. I couldn't just summon Sparkman and not get Stratos. So how am I gonna do this? I can't get by that monster. Change that to defense mode. I'm not changing Stratos to defense mode. That's pointless. Then Messenger of Peace. Yeah, that doesn't help. I'm gonna set this. Hopefully he can go about just destroying this. And... yeah, I'm gonna just set an avian. How am I gonna go about destroying this thing? Oh god, he got Hammond, Lord of Striking Thunder. Oh well, seems like that isn't my problem anymore. Yeah, so that thing has no protection, so good luck, buddy. Well, yes, I will go about activating Mirror Force. Now back to my initial problem. What do I... Miracle Fusion. And what can we get? We can go for Elemental Hero Thunder Giant. Discard, probably... we can start discarding cards at that point. To deal with our opponent. Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman. We need to get into another. We have to first get into Elemental Hero Flame Wingman first. Electrum, if I remember correctly, this can make it so that we... yeah, we can shuffle all banished cards into the deck. And it's going to gain 300 attack for each monster you control. Shares an attribute with this card. Need Avian, Bristinatrix, Clayman, and Bubbleman. So I would have to go about normal summoning Bubbleman. Actually, another thing about it, it does not require Sparkman, which means... let's see... okay, so it's everything but dark. Which means I would still gain the 300 from Elemental Hero Sparkman. But is that the best option? I can just go into Thunder Giant, discard, destroy this, and then go and start attacking. Yeah, that's what I'm probably going to do. Yeah, let's Miracle Fusion. And I can even do so from the grave, too, so... yeah, that was definitely the best option. Not to mention, considering the fact that he doesn't run too many monsters, and a lot of his monsters are continuous traps, he's going to have to go about setting a bunch of traps for that. I can get rid of you, destroy this. And if he destroys any of my normal monsters, I can just get 2 of them back anyway. Your field's wide open, buddy. It really does feel nice just playing Yu-Gi-Oh! When it's, you know, not a combo fest. Like, I can actually think in this. Instead of having to, you know, wait 10 minutes for my opponent to finish their turn. Why do you have to have 2 of these? Well, here's the thing. So, your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving this token. If I wait 1 turn, he's going to have to get rid of these anyway. But here's the thing. I have weak-ass monsters. If I take 1,000, I take 1,200, I attack for game. Yeah, that was simple. Okay, Metal Reflex Slime's definitely nice. Raviel, Lord of Phantasms. I don't really actually like that card. If it was, was it, Uriah, the Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames? If it was that one, I would have definitely been really happy. I really like that card. Okay, we got some amount of, points. Let's go about, dumping them in here. We have one card from that. Maybe we're gonna get lucky. Maybe we're gonna get lucky. Hey, what the hell, Spirit Caller? Okay, that's nice. I've been seeing some stuff that works with level 3 or lower normal monsters. Enraged Battle Ox isn't so bad. Considering we have an instant fusion, some fusion monsters aren't so bad either. Also, Fusion Guard we have, which is another counter trap, but we need to have some fusion monsters for that. But it only works on effect damage anyway. Metamorphosis. We can't really use you. You are forbidden. Granted, I don't really need to, but oh well. Gemini Trap Hole. Activate only when a Gemini monster is treated as an effect monster. Destroy by battle. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls. That isn't so bad. Damn, they really did have to go about making good cards for Gemini to make them even useful. Okay, Synthetic Seraphim. Each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, special summon one Synthetic Seraphim token. That isn't so bad. Solemn Strike, we managed to get something good. And another Parthian shot. I was actually debating on just using this. It wasn't going to do much of anything. But at the very least, it would have been an option of actually getting a counter trap that would work. Okay, another fusion stage. Before we even go into that, let's go over here. Edge. Get more from trunk. We can get rid of something, but I'm not going to do that at the moment. Let's try these decks out. Is there anything I would like to play these decks against? Why not? Let's go through and just play a... Let's play against Vampire Lady. Oh, shit. Ah, damn it. I defaulted to story. Which means I'm gonna be going and not playing this one. If you surrender, then you can easily go and get points. Actually, it's fastest to just go through and surrender if you really want points. Yep. Yeah, I don't care. Just let me surrender. Yep, 800 for no reason. And Book of Life. Now let's try that again, but we're going to go with user deck. So let's try our Fairy Dreams deck. Why? Because I'm dreaming if I think this is going to work. Okay, so we're going to be going first, mainly because we're trying to play traps. Not so bad. We can activate this. Set 1, and we'll normal summon Harvest Angel of Wisdom. She shouldn't have the ability to easily beat this thing. Shouldn't. No, I do have Dust Tornado. Okay. Yes. Now we're gonna destroy Vampire Kingdom. No. Look at that. She did that all on her own. Okay. Wish I had another monster. Oh, do I so wish I had another monster. Ooh, Minerva. Too bad I don't have a counter trap yet. This is like playing a regular deck. I mean, what am I doing? What's the point? Is there a point? I mean, she's already bricking. I mean, look at that. For some reason, she can't actually go about really getting anything. Again, when you have too many tribute summoned monsters, or monsters that need to be tributed, or tribute summoned, you really can't do anything. Which is why I tend not to run too many. I wanted to go about getting out my tribute summoned monster, but I couldn't do that. I do like playing Vampire deck. I just don't think I should because I've already done that before. Let's try a different one. Now let's try what we just went about playing. Skip you. We're going to try Fairy Dreams again. And then after this we can go about trying that Toon deck again. We have to go about seeing if we can make these decks any better than what they are at this point in time. Yeah, I'm going to go first. Ooh, we actually got something decent. And with guiding Ariadne. Okay, so we can set you. I want to say that I would love to discard you, but that wouldn't do me any good. I'm gonna place this one in the pendulum zones. And to be honest, let's go about normal summoning you, and I'll throw Mage Power. Alright, Mage Power is just good overall. No. That's lovely. Ooh, I don't care. I don't care. That is literally not useful to me. That's not going to do anything to me. Okay, so we'll go through and summon Bountiful Artemis. Attack you. No. No, come on. What? No. No trap monsters? Oh. Another DNA surgery. Actually, I don't know if Psalm 1 would even be able to go about doing that. Yeah. So I don't really have much of anything that I can go about doing, but I can set this. We can attempt to go in for game. Oh, yeah. We don't have to pay for the cost. That gets destroyed. We draw a card. And it's overwhelm. And that's game. This deck can work. It's just... I really need to find out exactly the, Ooh, the creator. 1 day apiece, that's interesting. The creator I kind of like. Yeah, we'll continue in here. Let's try tunes versus something more substantial. Let's try tunes versus red eyes. Something of a challenge. So, let's go second. Granted, like, half of my deck doesn't really like attacking the turn they're summoned. Oh. Terraforming for Toon Kingdom. Then we can go through, activate Toon Kingdom. Special summon Toon Cyber Dragon. So it cannot attack this turn, and we can set Hyena. End phase, hopefully they attack into the Hyena, so I can go through summon Red Eyes Toon Dragon off of, yeah, good. We can summon Red Eyes Toon Dragon now. And then from that, we can go through and special summon at least Toon Mass Sorcerer. Though we could also go through, and if we get another monster, a Toon Mass Sorcerer. Yeah. I don't like the fact that I kind of know what he's trying to get into. We'll place it into defense mode just because it can't attack the turn it's summoned anyway. But we will be attacking directly because I don't want to destroy the Mystical Tomato. At the very least, come on, crash it in. If you want your red eyes so bad, you go about fighting me. Now, actually, let's think about it. Okay, that's cool, that's cool. So, I don't actually need to... If I use this effect, I can still attack. Yep, I can still attack with the red eyes. Actually, I probably should put that one in defense mode too. At least this one can do something. Yep. And I draw a card. And it's actually a Tomb Briefcase, gonna be nice. It's gonna protect at least one of my dudes. So from there... Okay, so we're not gonna really go about using that. Actually, let's go into Castel. At this point in time, at the very least, we aren't going to be losing any... we're not going to be losing any life points from our opponent attempting to do anything. And even then, we can still attack. He can only get one red eyes out, which... How would you not have a red eyes to go through? And I've given you so much. So many resources to use. Okay. So let's just attack for game. Wow, that was easy. So, Black Dragons check. Wingbeat of Giant Dragon, not really all that good. Mirage Dragon, eh. So, before we end this, let's see what we can get for cards. Still want to go in here, just because I really do want to get some better counter traps. Though very soon, I'm probably going to just go through and start dumping points into something else. Oh, Knight of the Red Lotus and Symbols of Duty. Those definitely can be used in a normal deck. Super Alloy Beast Raptinus. Okay, so Gemini Monster, Gemini Monster. All Gemini monsters on the field are treated as effect monsters and gain their effects. That's cool. And I could go through and use an Archfiend deck. Or I kind of want to go about making a Gemini deck at this point in time. Must first be special summoned by sending one non-effect monster from your hand or face up field to the graveyard. This card gains attack equal to the level of the monster sent to the graveyard this way. You can tribute one effect monster, special summon one normal monster from your hand or deck. You can only use the effect of Cosmo Brain once per turn. So Cosmo Brain is actually pretty good. Not to mention, this is a rank 7 you can get from a, what was it called? Mystical Tomato with 1500 attack points. So that's actually pretty decent. I wonder what kind of rank 7s we could actually get with that. Another Fusion Guard. Again, that's possibly good. Fusion Gate. Sure. Another Instant Fusion. I don't think that's... that may be limited. It may not be limited. Who knows? If it's limited, then... oh, well, I already have one. If it's not, then yay, I have a second. Yeah, nothing of note in this one. Activate this card by targeting one normal monster in your graveyard, special summon in defense position. So, yeah, this is basically like so many others. Like even was it Ancient Birthright? Something like that? I forget. There's another card that basically does the same thing, except it special summons it in attack position. I guess this just means you have more options of, you know, special summoning normal monsters from the grave. Okay. You can only activate this card while the 3 normal monsters of the same name on your side of the field, and 3 normal monsters on the same name can attack your opponent's life points directly. Okay. So pretty sure this is very good if you're running a Blue Eyes deck. Or can be very good if you're running a Blue Eyes deck. Yeah, not finding anything useful in this one. So again, I am very interested in making a Gemini deck. Forbidden Scripture. If a monster battles an opponent's monster, during damage calculation, negate all other card effects in the field until the end of the damage step. Also, damage calculation for this battle uses each player's monster's original attack and defense. Okay. I thought this was basically going to be used for negating equips anyway. But sure, that's not so bad. What does this do? That's fusion. I don't need fusion. At least not right now. Okay, so yeah, there wasn't much of anything in that. What should I go after? I'm actually starting to think I might want to go after Gemini. And I know exactly what Gemini monster I have come to actually want to use in a deck outside of a Gemini deck, and that is one of the Red Eyes cards. And of the Red Eyes cards, and I can probably find it in the deck edit by... If I go through, just make an empty deck, I can find... Search, put that back in. Yeah, I don't have it right now, but it's just... There it goes. So it should be Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon. So this is a Gemini monster. This is a treat as a normal monster while face up in the field or in the graveyard, which is useful for some other stuff that you can go about doing with Red Eyes cards. While this card is a normal monster on the field, you can normal summon it to have it become an effect monster with this effect. If damage calculation is performed involving this card, at the end of the battle phase, you can inflict damage to your opponent's life points. You can inflict damage to your opponent equal to this card's original attack, which is 2,400. Fairly good. And the big thing about it is if damage calculation is performed involving this card at the end of the battle phase, you do that. Which generally tends to mean if this thing's fighting, this thing's going to be dealing 2,400 to your opponent. I think that is a good enough effect to be able to attempt to go after, in my opinion. So let's just delete this one. So with that being said, have a nice day, everybody.